We can't put it off any longer. An hour, 5 minutes, and 56 seconds. Channel 5, Andrew Callahan, you've done it again.
My video on the expose of the fraud in Minnesota is the most viewed video ever by a creator, longer than 10 minutes, than anybody other than the name of Mr. Beast.
The population, some insight.
Sorry, wait, there's literally, it's 3.6 million views. That's not, what? Okay. Oh, does he mean Twitter views? The completely illegitimate view counter that you just scroll past it? The one where it would get boosted because a ton of people are dunking on it, and like everyone, like every admin state, they're all the branches are all quote tweeting it and constantly regurgitating it over and over and over again. Gotcha.
Altogether, it did around 500 million views.
Who do you think were the main people who signal boosted the video and brought it into that true viral orbit?
Elon Musk, who shared the video. JD Vance, he shared the video. You had the Attorney General, well, she actually didn't share it. She reacted to the video a few days later. Literally, quite frankly, every account on X saw that video instantaneously. Health and Human Services, they froze all funding to childcare inside of Minnesota, and then they're asking for businesses to prove that they are legit businesses before they give tax dollars to these businesses that are not really businesses.
As far as that main center that you visited, Quality Learning, aka Quality Learning Center.
Yeah.
This guy genuinely looks very unintelligent. Oh, well, that's the only reason why I caught on to this. There's a point, at some point in this enormous video, there is a demonstration of extraordinary illiteracy on his end. He seems like actually quite slow, like very, very stupid. But you can make fun of him for it as much as you want because A, he's not trying to learn, and 2, he's a federal agent who works with a fascist administration to justify authoritarian crackdowns on non-white populations.
Were any kids there in the first place?
No. So that daycare center, it's been operating fraudulently. It's actually had over 90 violations over the past few years. And the day that I went there at 11 a.m. Their operating hours are from 2 to 10 p.m., they're now saying, and that's actually not legal.
So you said you went there at 11 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
And their operating hours are between 2 and 10 p.m.?
Allegedly.
But if that is true, would it have made sense that you didn't see any kids there?
Yeah, it would have made sense if I didn't see children there. Either way, whether I was there when kids were supposed to be there or not, why are all the windows boarded up? Or why are all the windows blacked out? Why is there no phone number that leads to anywhere? These businesses are supposed to be operating to serve children. People should be able to check in their child there and their children into these daycares.
I know this is all like really tired at this point, but I hope everyone, like, you're all aware. It's super, super normal for daycares to not let people just stare at children through the windows. That's like really, really normal because people wouldn't want strange men staring in through the windows. It's very normal.
It's literally impossible.
Did you see some of the footage released by CBS Minnesota affiliate station that showed kids entering and exiting the facility?
Yeah, the one on the ABC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that one received over $1 million. It's licensed for 40 children. CBS, I believe, they go in there the day after I had posted my video. Obviously, they're gonna have children there when they're getting all this heat.
I take my kids here, 2 o'clock to 10. Yeah, there's a lot of kids inside.
And same thing at that daycare. Why are all the windows blacked out? This is a daycare.
Why is he still repeating this talking point, man? He's been confronted on this one on mainstream news too. Like they're like, don't you think it's normal that a daycare would black out their windows so people can't just wander up from the street and stare at children? And he's like, yeah, I guess. And then he says it because he's retarded. I know it's because he's retarded, okay? But I have to ask. I think that, man, I'm not the first person to make this point, but I think it's really worth, fuck, how do I make this point, okay? We're committing intellectual suicide as a nation, or at least half of us are. The first wave of what I guess I would call like modern conservative influencers, you know, ranging from people like Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, or Tucker Carlson or whatever, were essentially just the same people who have always been conservative pundits incorporating their work into new mediums, you know? But if all you eat is trash, all you're going to get is trash. Since Trump became the front runner in the Republican presidential race in 2016, there has been a race to the bottom. The truth is, you cannot like what Trump says unless you're stupid. The vast majority of the Republican Party that fell in line were aware of the fact that what they were saying was complete bullshit, right? I mean, they've always lied, but obviously things have gotten worse, you know? Trump doesn't just lie on like key points, or he doesn't like just lightly misrepresent things or whatever. Trump just blatantly lies all the time about insignificant stuff that you could instantly check him on. Like, he does it all the time, but you all need to present a clean front, right? So all of these intelligent Fox News broadcasters, you know, and I don't think Glenn Beck's a dumb guy. I don't think that Tucker Carlson's a dumb guy. I don't think Jesse Waters is a dumb guy, even if, I mean, like, despite the way he acts or whatever, I don't think he's stupid. All of them understand the new game. The new game is we just say whatever we want, you know? I thought you said Trump was incapable of lying. Sorry, aggrandizing, saying incorrect things, whatever you prefer. I think Trump used to be capable of lying. I just don't know if he can anymore. Whatever the case may be, you understand my point. They all knowingly lied. But the problem is, this guy, Nick Shirley, this guy is the new generation, all right? He is literally 5 years old. Like, he was a little zygote when Trump was first elected. He's a little baby. And when all you eat is garbage with nothing moderating it, this is what you get. I think that Nick Shirley is the first true example we've seen of a person as stupid as you would need to be to regurgitate Republican propaganda, doing the Republican propaganda. Finally, we have arrived at one, not somebody who has to lower themselves to the intellectual palate of the people who consume their product. Now we have somebody who's speaking at the level. You know? He's 23 years old, this is embarrassing. Yeah, but what do you expect? This is exactly what a person would be like intellectually if this is the environment that their brain was cooked in. He can be 23. In 5 years, he's going to be 28. In 10 years, he's going to be 33. Right now, I'm 31. I'm almost 32. It doesn't really matter how old he is. This is the future of the Republican Party. The only reason the Republican Party was able to survive Trump's first term in a way that it might not Trump's second was because there were enough people around who were aware of the fact that they were all full of shit. They could still do math. But what's happening in this administration? They're literally going after the Federal Reserve chairman because he did math, and they don't like that he did math. They want him to do math different. Math should be 0. Interest rate should be 0. A bunch of fucking cavemen attacking a nerd because he knows how to do math correctly. The anti-intellectualism is reaching a breaking point. This, though, is perfect. Nick Shirley is perfect. He is the distillation of this like long process, right? This is what happens. It's the divide in intelligence between conservatives and liberals is only going to get more and more sharp over time. You know, re-education camps might stop being like an edgy, tanky Twitter phrase and might turn into like genuine humane policy on behalf of future Democratic administrations. Like it won't even be like a Fed posting thing. They'll just be like, these people can't dress themselves. We need like a conservative school or something. Like they genuinely cannot function in society.
Why can't a lady just give me a paper to enroll a child? This door is locked.
This facility is licensed for 40 children.
Well, I guess maybe I'm just trying to think from all perspectives and help you clear up some misconceptions.
Yeah.
I mean, I figure like if you're going with a camera and like 3 or 4 dudes, some of whom were like larger security looking guys, some had face gaiters on, maybe there's a fear that there's like something weird going on or it just seems unfamiliar and they feel like they don't want to let you in.
Yeah, they might feel that fear. But if they're operating legally, why would they have anything to fear? And the neighbors around it said they have not seen a child there for 8 years. If you go on Google Maps right now, you can actually see the images of the daycare progress over the past few years. And starting in 2021, the door is boarded up from the image from Google Maps. So I think
fascinating. I wonder if anything might have changed around 2021 that might cause businesses to board up their windows. Nope, can't think of anything.
If you show that, it's actually pretty crazy to see. And then they moved the building and they cut open a door on the backside of the building as well, where they had a quality learning center. One man's been living there since 2017, hasn't seen a single child. And when I go and post my video on X, a lot of people were saying, well, Nick, you went during winter break. Well, actually, I went December 16th. School was still in session, so kids should still be going to daycare.
I don't want to keep having to repeat it, but like we're all really like basking in the cadence, right? Like, he genuinely is not, like, it sounds like he's struggling to communicate even basic ideas. It's really, again, it's like what I said with in the Joe Rogan segment. Like, it's humiliating to me that the long-term health of my country is at risk due to the arbitrary whims of these very, like, unwell people, you know?
The following days after the video then goes viral and gets over 100 million views, they have a person come out and he says, no, we're open. I'm the manager. I'm the son of the owners. We're open. At that same time, simultaneously, the lady who's in charge, the Commissioner of Children of Minnesota, says the daycare closed a week ago.
Quality Learning Center, which Brown says permanently closed last week.
While we have questions about some of the methods that were used in the video, we do take the concerns that the video raises about fraud very seriously.
So I filmed my video, daycare is allegedly open. Then, a few days later, the lady says that the daycare was closed, while that guy is outside telling people that the daycare is open.
I mean, it seems like that learning center has had a serious history of violations.
Quality Learning Center, yes.
Yeah. Going back to...
Is it still called a re-education camp if it's the first time they're being educated? That's actually a great question. At that, like, it's just school, man. We're just sending your ass to school. You wasted your first chance.
To 2020.
Yeah, it's literally not a daycare.
But how could they have violations related to childcare if there was no kids there?
Yeah, the way they're operating inside of there, they had the violations. Those people are not able, they were operating fraudulently inside that daycare.
But fraud would mean there's no kids, but the violations relate to like poor safety conditions that put the kids in danger.
And so why would they be operating, and why would Minnesota continue to be giving them millions of dollars?
That's a different, so there are kids? That's a different claim.
If they're receiving all these violations.
That seems like a really valid question.
Yeah.
Why do you think Minnesota would be giving a daycare center with so many violations so much money?
Well, that same man at Quality Learning Center who was saying that they were open after the commissioner was on the live stream saying they were closed a week ago was also partying with the mayor of Minneapolis.
Is the manager of the infamous Learning Center in Minneapolis also one of the guys that was dancing in the back of Mayor Jacob Frey's election victory video, the one that went super viral?
I bet you this video right here, this one, it probably has like 18 million views on TikTok.
Where he thanks his constituents in Somali for re-electing him last month.
So you feel like there's kind of like some nonprofit industrial complex type of deal happening?
For sure.
And the agenda is just for people to leech off the government and get free stuff?
81% of the Somali population inside Minnesota is living off welfare. And 89% of the fraud being committed inside Minnesota is by the Somali population.
So what do you think the solution to something like that is?
Go freeze the funding. Each business can then prove if they are legit, and if they can't, cut the funding. And so far, no business has sent any information to the HHS showing that they're legit as of today. They've had 3 days to do it. They haven't been able to prove it. They haven't even tried to make the effort to show that they're a legit business.
Why the fuck would they need to do that? What the... a YouTuber made a video on us. Time for us to submit a bunch of court documents to the... What?
It was closed, then it was open, and now we've confirmed it's closed again. That's all after the owners recently rejected allegations of stealing taxpayer money.
Do you trust America and the government specifically to handle our taxpayer funds correctly and properly if they have access to more of them?
No, I don't think any of us should. I mean, just last year alone, over $120 billion were misplaced.
So you have a general distrust in the government?
No, I don't have a distrust necessarily in the government, but do I think we should trust the government 100%? No. It's kind of like having faith. Like, do you want to have faith in that God's real? Yes. So when we die, will we for certain know exactly where we're going? You kind of walk with faith in a way where you hope that the people that you elect are going to work for your best interest. Do you know for certain?
What the fuck is this argument? What the fuck are you saying?
Certainty that the best thing is happening inside the country? Every single time you pay taxes, it's going to go to the place that needs it? No. But on that case, do I feel certain that I know where I'm going to go when I die because of my faith? Yes. But does that mean that it's going to actually happen? Who knows until we pass the other side. So, and then another thing is, we as Americans, how should we feel comfortable knowing that there are daycares receiving millions of dollars while some families are paying upwards of $70,000 a year for their children to be going to daycare?
The analogizing between government and God is so telling. You mean with regard to like the slave mentality shit? Yeah. It's so un-Christian as well, right? Like Christ was pretty clear on the distinction, you know, render unto Caesar, etc., etc. So this like, yes, well, my belief in the usefulness of government can be analogized to my faith in Christ the Savior. Really? That's the framework you're pulling from? You don't have like an internal like metaphysical divide, like ethically speaking, between your conception of the divine and of the material? That's crazy. Your brain is soup. For what it's worth, he's Mormon. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Here.
Did you ever hear about the Amy Bach case?
The white lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy Bach acknowledged the government has proven fraud among meal sites and vendors that
Like the one thing that he knew about her was that she wasn't Somali.
Sponsored Under Feeding Our Future, but that it was others, not her.
If you look at the probe that began in 2023, as far as like COVID era, you know, scamming and different types of fraud, there's been over like 60 convictions and millions seized from the fraudsters who took the money away.
Yeah.
But you feel like the state hasn't done enough.
Well, Tim Walz has said they've been stopping to fight fraud since 2019, 2026, and they're still having millions of dollars being stolen. Billions of dollars.
Breaking political news out of...
I don't really know how we're supposed to engage with this kind of rhetoric from the right when Trump engages every day in the most open, blatant fraud imaginable. Like Trump Jr.'s, Don Jr.'s company getting a $200 million no-bid contract just a couple of days ago. There's so much obvious open corruption happening day to day. We all know they don't care about corruption on principle. They just hate black people. It's just like, I don't know. I'm imagining having a conversation with this guy, but I don't really think it would go anywhere.
Minnesota. Governor Tim Walz, who of course was the Democratic nominee for vice president in 2024, has ended his re-election bid for governor. This comes as pressure has been growing around this widening welfare fraud scandal.
We've got conspiracy theorist right-wing YouTubers breaking into our daycares, demanding access to our children. So I've decided to step out of this race, and I'll let others worry about the election while I focus on the work that's in front of me for the next year.
I have quite literally saved America millions of dollars. That's why you saw the mainstream media attack me instantaneously after I exposed
instantaneously
$100 million in fraud. Why would they not go investigate the fraud? Why would they investigate the person who investigated the fraud?
Where does that $100 million figure come from specifically?
Yeah, so you had all the daycares. With the daycares alone, you had millions of dollars in fraud. And then inside of the home healthcare businesses, they were warehouse-style and industrialized buildings where you had 14 of the same healthcare companies all working within the building, and they could not even give you a rate. We know how expensive healthcare is, and they're giving these companies millions of dollars. And the man, David, who's in my video, he's the one who has the statistics and has the numbers on how much these businesses were operating.
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion and maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised. And
this is Nick Shirley talking about those mainstream media. Yeah, I've seen this one. This one's actually an all-timer.
They came after me. They came after my family. They doxed my entire family.
How did they come after you? Be specific.
Well, they tried to come after me. They tried to debunk all my whole entire story. They then...
Who's they?
All the news.
Would you just get more
CNN,
specific? CNN, who within CNN?
CBS.
Who's the reporter?
I don't even know her name.
put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion.
How did you come into contact with David?
He just messaged me on Instagram and he said, Nick, I have the information about the fraud taking place here inside Minnesota. I've been looking into it for years. I have somebody from inside the Capitol who has given me the numbers of CCAP funding. I've been trying for years to expose this fraud. Nobody will listen to me. Please give me a call.
Has he shown you that data?
Yeah, that's what's inside the video. When you see the video and the screenshots of the CCAP funding, that's all straight from the Capitol of Minnesota.
So who is David's source?
David's source, he has somebody inside the Capitol.
And you don't know
and
who
that's
it is?
public information as well.
Who is it?
Who is the person's name?
Yeah.
The lady's name, I did not work with her. However, the information that was provided, I can't tell you her name right now, but I could find it on X but she's also inside the government there, inside Minnesota.
But you like fact checked all that and you looked it all up?
Yeah, David, all those numbers are straight from the Capitol.
So a couple days ago, Minnesota State Representative Lisa DeMuth said that her Republican caucus had been, quote, working with you ahead of your coverage. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I had no idea who she was.
Our caucus has been working to expose fraud for years. including working with Nick Shirley.
Minnesota House GOP leaders say they provided the YouTuber with information in the now viral video.
So you feel
He's such a fucking federal agent, man. God, I wish there were I wish there were charges that you could file against someone for this kind of like collaborationist dishonesty. Remember when the Trump administration hooked him up for a trip down to CCOT?
Every single person you see right here are prisoners here inside of El Salvador, but they are now being used to help rebuild and reshape the entire country. Each person you see right now here has a sewing machine, and they are making the clothes for schools, hospitals, and for they themselves. All the clothes that they're wearing right now have been made here inside this factory. There are over 2,000 people.
It's a slave labor plant from a bunch of people who have not even been given a formal trial. They've just been seized and thrown in there. And he got inside this like mega prison. How the fuck did he get in there? He's a agent of the federal government. It's not a joke. Like he is. He has contacts within the Trump admin. They facilitate. They just said it right here. Like he worked with the Minnesota state Republicans. They probably gave him a hit list of places they wanted him to go after, specifically Somali, to support the Trump administration. This whole thing was set up in advance. Trump wanted another big ICE surge because it had failed in Chicago, it had failed in Los Angeles, so he wanted some kind of like pre-existing thing that would implicate non-white people, something to justify it. So the state, Minnesota state Republicans were like needed a guy to be the insider, who would blow the lid off this big conspiracy, which would then prompt the Trump administration to go in. He goes in there and, wow, crazy. He puts his video out and every single Republican in the universe takes notice of it and quote tweets it and spreads a bunch of misinfo about it. And then, wow, crazy, the federal government deploys the largest ICE operation yet in Minnesota. The whole thing, man, from the beginning.
Like she's just clout chasing.
Yeah, that's what I literally put in the reply in the tweet. Her campaign freaked out when I tweeted that. That's the lady who I was referring to earlier in this interview. Mm-hmm. So her staff was the people that David had received the information from because David reached out, and she works inside the government. So she did actually a good job by doing what she's supposed to do, by serving the people and giving that information.
Yeah, it says that Harry Niska, a Republican representative who's a staffer for her, was the one who gave the intel to David.
Yeah, that probably sounds about right. But good on her for actually caring about fraud. Fraud's been taking place for years.
And it's really affected the city on that big of a level to the point where people like David are feeling it.
Yeah, because what they knew is Minnesota is not Minnesota anymore.
As far as immigration goes?
Immigration goes, fraud. They just released a new thing where they're giving people 20-week leaves for work leaves, and they've also raised property taxes. Meanwhile, you have billions of dollars, quite frankly, literally billions of dollars over the past few years going to fraud. It's not a hyperbole, it's fact. Government has shown that upwards of $9 billion has gone to fraud. I would vote for anybody but Tim Walz inside that state of Minnesota.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you cleared that up because, it's like the same reason that people lost trust in traditional media is because they felt like there was no barrier between the establishment and, corporate news pundits. And they felt like CNN was an arm of the Democratic Party and then Fox was an arm of the conservative wing. So the fear now that I've thought about before, and I'm not saying this is happening, it will probably take like 5 to 10 years, is that somehow the political powers that be figure out how to use the independent creator economy like on a sleeper cell level to do their bidding for them.
Yeah, that could happen.
Like with
Do you think Andrew's a good interviewer? Yeah, oh, for sure. He's 100% like super good at what he does, yeah.
Influencer contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah, you saw the DNC do that. All the people that are out talking against me, a lot of them have cut checks from the DNC.
Through like a paid influencer program?
Yeah, and it's public.
Would you ever agree to something like that?
No, never.
Hell yeah.
Like why would I...
He's an agent of he's a Fed. Also, the fact that the Trump administration pays money directly to influencers to rep them is well known. It's been the case for a while. How fat are the DNC checks? Nowhere near as fat as the Republican checks, man. Not even close. Dude, Tim Walz was getting $250,000 a month, was it? $250,000 a month for like one video a week on some separate channel. The amount of money that's circling around over there is orders of magnitude more than what we have. Did I say Tim Walz? Tim Pool. They were just talking about Tim Walz. I'm saying Tim Pool.
I don't need it. I make enough money doing my videos off YouTube, and the people that support me, like, why would I ever turn against their best interest?
And you mentioned that the mainstream media has kind of been attacking you since this video did its rounds. What are some of the things they've said? Like, what's their main point of attack?
Yeah, if you listen every single time they bring up Nick Shirley on these news sites or the internet or on their TV, they'll say right-wing YouTuber, MAGA YouTuber, conservative. It's never journalist Nick Shirley. It's right-wing journalist Nick Shirley.
Yeah.
MAGA influencer Nick Shirley.
Yeah, when I interviewed Hunter Biden, they did a RV YouTuber was the one they would use for all like the, which actually sounds pretty cool. Like I'd want to be that, but I'm not that. And then like a liberal podcaster, and that in the Atlantic said Gen Z influencer. So
yeah, it's just like they're so mad that we have the opportunity, people like me and you, to upload a video and to get more views than them. Essentially, we're a threat to their entire industry.
Fuck, I really think he's authentically that stupid. I do not think that it's like all a bit. It's not like the Tucker Carlson fake, unintelligence bit or whatever. I think he's actually like this. It's crazy, man. Holy shit. I feel myself getting stupider listening to him. He doesn't know he's a Fed. He does know that he's a Fed. He's just a Fed. Like many people who are given like a leg up get really, really defensive when that's pointed out to them, and they live delusionally believing that it's not the case, right?
That's why they hate us. That's why they will never give us credit. And so when they see me...
Andrew is really good at building rapport with fucking more. Like, he's really good at trying to get to their level. He's obviously trying to, like, open them up, you know?
Doing what I'm doing, when they see me get more views than they will get onto their website for the whole entire year on one single video, yeah, it's going to make a lot of people mad.
So-called evidence comes from a man who has posted anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant content in the past. CNN's Whitney Wild speaks to the man behind that video and takes a look at his claims.
We're from CNN. Can we talk to you? This is MAGA YouTuber Nick Shirley.
Yeah, so going back to the first time we met, so what do you remember about that first interaction?
I had just started making YouTube videos again, and I was all by myself. You were going to AmFest, so was I. I was going to interview people about what's happening here inside the country, and I thought I had no idea exactly what I was walking into. I just knew there was going to be a lot of people to interview about what was happening inside the country. I thought it was like called America Fest, so I had no idea what Turning Point was. I had no idea who Charlie Kirk was at that time. It was funny because I'd watched you before on All Gas No Brakes, and you're always in that beige suit, just moving around and doing your videos, and so I was like stoked to see you. It was great meeting you the first time.
I remember
That's
I first
what's up.
saw you, and you were setting up a tripod, and I was like, yo, what should I do? And you told me, you were like, you should go cover the border. And I told you, I was like, I want to go to Nogales to cover it. And you were like, no, you should go to Lukeville.
Yeah.
So you were the one who actually sent me in the right direction to do that.
Yeah, you
interviews.
actually said, hey, can I get that information? I'd love to do something with you. I sent you the information, then ghosted me right after.
Well, now the whole world's going to know that there wouldn't have been a border video without my guy Nick right here.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. Was that, so you said you had just started making videos in 2023, but had you done interviews before that?
Yeah, so I had actually started, I've been doing YouTube since 2017 when I was a sophomore in high school. I started just wanting to have fun with my friends, and I started watching YouTubers, and I saw kind of like the lifestyle they lived, and I was like, oh, I'm fun. I like to have fun.
Yeah. God, man, it's always the same fucking story with these people. It was always lifestyle motivated. He started out posting slop videos. Remember? We took a look at his channel from the beginning. His initial video, it's the right-wing bent is just a means to an end. Like, he really is just a useful idiot. He sees people with money and freedom, and he's like, oh, I want that. So he just, like, algorithm slop, whatever gets the views in. And it turns out the lowest bar for content that you can possibly meet, besides, like, Coco Melon, Elsa, Spider-Man Gate bullshit, is conservative political slop. Like, it's perfect. The audience is completely undifferentiating. They're very stupid. And if you play your cards right, you can get the entire federal government directing attention to your videos. It's perfect.
I'm creative. I can be entertaining. I could do YouTube. Like, a lot of us think when we're in high school, like, how many discussions have you had with your friends where you're just like, bro, that could be us.
Most YouTubers wouldn't come in here and capture this because of political stuff. You know what? I don't care. We're out here, baby. Like and subscribe.
Let's go.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. Perfect. It's flawless. Picture perfect, man. That's why the opening of this interview was him bragging about the views in his video. The highest view count on Twitter of any more than 10-minute video on a platform where nobody posts videos that long. And also the entire federal government rebroadcasted it, you know? Thus demonstrating it was not authentic interest, but rather manufactured political interest that drove those view counts.
Back to the young Nick Shirley. Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, the mainstream media hates me for telling the truth. They hate that they see that my Twitter video gets that many views because they know their time is done.
Yeah, so I was born here in Utah, spending a lot of time with my family, friends, playing football, basketball, soccer, track, you name it. Sports was my entire life when I was younger.
True American life.
Yeah, true American life, going to church, getting decent grades, having fun, hanging out with friends, riding your bike around.
And you said the church. What kind of church?
Yeah, so member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Is that the same thing as Mormons?
Yeah, but we don't call ourselves Mormons now.
Because of South Park?
No, it's just we're not Mormon. We don't follow Mormon. We follow Jesus Christ. So we actually want people to refer to us and know us as members of the Church of Jesus Christ.
So Joseph Smith is not a prophet?
No, he's a prophet.
In addition to Jesus?
Jesus is a savior.
Oh, okay.
He's also a prophet. But
They are heretics, by the way, or blasphemers, whatever you prefer. Like Mormons are barely Christians. They're like, yeah. The current like synthesis between Mormonism and like mainstream Republican Christianity is actually pretty new. Keep in mind, it wasn't that long ago that Protestants and Catholics legitimately did not get along in this country. Certainly not Mormons. Now it doesn't matter because everybody is agnostic anyway. Religion is just like a virtue signal. It's like a pin that you can put on your chest. Being religious basically just means you're reactionary for a lot of people. It's just a cultural signifier that has nothing to do with any kind of metaphysical belief. So they, you know, now Mormons get along just fine. Charlie Kirk he was talking about this right before he got kirked in the neck, you know? There was that Mormon kid who came up and was like, because he was in Salt Lake City. The Mormon kid was like, "Do you think that the Mormons and trad caths can be based together against wokeness or whatever the fuck?" Was stupid kids questions, you know. But it would not have been that. It's not that long ago where the idea of Mormons and other Christians getting along was a lot more tentative, you know.
Also our savior. He's your savior. He's my savior. He's everyone's savior.
Thank you. So what do you think is the main thing people get wrong about LDS?
We're Christians. We're just people who love God and love Jesus. And yeah, we do follow higher standards. No drinking, no smoking, no sex before marriage. Go to church on Sunday, follow the 10 Commandments. Follow the Bible. We follow the Bible.
One of your earliest videos that you now deleted was about some of those loopholes.
Oh yes, that's soaking.
Have you ever thought about soaking here at BYU? No.
Because there's a lot of misconceptions.
God, they're such fucking freaks.
That's not right. Soaking's not right.
Is it real though?
I interviewed people at BYU and they might have said it was.
So you think it counts?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Wow, the rumors are true. Kids here at BYU actually do soak.
They soak and they hump.
Definitely.
I think that's like my biggest advantage, that I don't really have many vices, whether it be pornography, whether it be alcohol, whether it be cigarettes, whether it be vapes, whether it be nicotine. That stuff doesn't tempt me.
And you feel like living a clean life that way gives you like a journalistic superpower that allows laser focus so you can just become a content machine?
No.
It's kind of what you're doing.
Well, that's just who I am.
But I mean, I feel like if you drank and partied and stuff, you might not be able to make as many videos.
Well, if I drank and partied, I wouldn't be able to show up to my job at McDonald's.
You'd probably be able to hold down a McDonald's job if you had some years.
But if you're referring to being on time and all that stuff, and
I'm talking about the sheer volume of content you've been able to produce over the past year.
I'm a highly functioning person.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Aside from the recent stuff, what pieces
he does remind me a lot of Mr. Beast in the sense that he doesn't seem to have much of a personality himself, and he doesn't have much time to have one, you know? He's just like high functioning towards producing as much slop content as possible. No soul? Yeah.
You've been most proud of since I last saw you at Turning Point USA?
I'd say my Brazil videos, those were very awesome. Going to the favelas, that was an experience that I can't even believe favelas are real after going there, because I came this close to dying in the bottom of a destroyed house on the top of Rio's biggest favela.
When you say close to dying, like there was a gun in your face?
Yes, and if I didn't pay the man, I would have died.
You think so?
100%.
A different timeline.
Dá-lhe uma olhada que você vai ver que aqui não tem trégua. Oh, wow. This
is super fitting though that like this guy would go to Brazil and his content wouldn't be about the immense beauty and potential and promise of that wonderful nation, but rather like, did you know there are scary black people here? Did you know there's scary black people crime? It's like the difference between what's that guy? Olive Money? The guy who does the fake AI thumbnails where Portland is being overrun by a swarm of black people? Oliveira, thank you. Oliveira, that guy. It's like that guy versus Speed, you know? Like, Speed will go to a country with problems and try to highlight its best, but most slop YouTubers just try to, you know, farm views off of appealing to people's prior biases.
Heavy. Aqui, entendeu? No há paz. Paz para a polícia, fogo.
That guy, after I interviewed him, he got beat up by the gang leader and kicked out of the favela for letting me interview him.
Some other unknown, or perhaps known by some, Nick Shirley lore is that you've met deceased rapper YBC Duel.
Yes, I did meet him. It was Brandon Buckingham.
Yeah.
I had no idea who he was.
Special guest right here.
Oh, we got a special guest too. Talk to him.
This is Nick Shirley from Salt Lake City, Utah. The Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. You ever heard of the Mormons? This is the first Mormon, the first Church of Latter-day Saint member ever to be out here in Philly like this.
Just like that. Just like that.
And he feet on land.
Look at his sneaks though.
Yeah, so that was an equally, I would say, or similarly dangerous
Yeah,
scenario.
no, I'd say
God, I fucking hate these people, man.
the America hoods are about just as dangerous as the favelas. For instance, Chicago, you have armed militias walking around Chicago as well. Same within Philly. Think about how many young people are dying because of gang violence. Like, I loved your video you did in Baltimore about them kind of combating that and showing that like community really can make a difference and people really need to be looking out.
Because interesting, like Andrew did a video really humanizing the victims of gun violence and getting their perspective, whereas Nick Shirley just did a video where he's like pogging out at like 3 black guys in oversized hoodies in a corner and being like, dude, I bet they got a gun. Oh shit, I'm so close to dying right now.
Because it's not worth dying for.
So going back to high school, right? So you said that after high school you went on a mission trip, right?
Yeah.
Where to?
Chile, Santiago.
Is that where you developed fluent Spanish?
Yeah, I actually was fluent in Spanish when I was younger. When I was here in Utah, when I was growing up, I was in a Spanish immersion program from kindergarten to 4th grade.
He treats it like a zoo. They all do. All of those types of YouTubers, they treat it like a zoo. For them, the point of videos like that is to reaffirm their belief that the world is a scary place and that they were lucky to have been born white around white people, and that we need to restrict immigration and tighten up our security and our policing and so on to keep our countries from being like that. They can, and this is important to understand, they literally cannot understand a better world. They don't envision one. They don't want to envision one. It's not of interest to them. What they see the world as is a object lesson on what to avoid. They're motivated entirely by fear, but fear does not direct a person to improve themselves. Not at all. It sometimes can be directed to prevent what is perceived as worsening, you know? Like you want to avoid the bad outcome, not really strive to the good outcome. So their view of the world, which is informed over and over again by stuff like this, it's just the spectacle of the favela in Brazil or whatever else, Philadelphia, Chicago, it's to reaffirm over and over to fear the black. It's seriously, there are videos with tens of millions of views. This is the lesson over and over and over again. Black people are scary. Here's a black guy in a balaclava with a hood. Here's a guy with a hoodie. This guy looks scary. This guy looks scary. You know, that's it. That's the only reason they like them, you know? Tyler Olivier is one of the most, I think, prominent people who represents this, but there are so many of them. So many of them. And it's sickening, really. And it should be a crime. And these people should be in jail. These people only process fear because they're like animals. Fear is a very animalistic emotion. It can be experienced by even insects. It's like the most basic possible limbic nervous system neural response to perceived danger, you know? But it's the only thing these people traffic in.
Spoke Spanish fluently, moved to Washington. Similar to you, moved up to Seattle area. I didn't practice my Spanish anymore. I lost it. Decided to go on this mission thing for our church, and they sent me to Chile, Santiago, and I learned Spanish again.
What's the purpose of a mission trip?
Yeah, you're there to go share the gospel, the restored gospel of Jesus Christ, and to teach people about Jesus and give them the opportunity to come into Christ, and if they want to follow, or if you just want to teach them about Jesus, that's all you're supposed to do.
At what point did you start to really take political interviewing seriously, and why did you dive into that realm?
Well, I think when I started seeing people get trafficked into the United States from the border and started seeing mass corruption with inside the government, I just couldn't believe that. I met somebody at the border, she gives me her WhatsApp, and the next day she texts me and she's in New York City. I
struggle to hate him because he's probably mentally challenged. All conservatives are mentally challenged. You should hate them anyway. No, you should hate them because of it.
How is this happening? How are people just being trafficked around the country? How are little kids just coming over here? How's there a 15-year-old girl, or I think she was 17-year-old girl from Dominican Republic, all by herself? How are people doing this, and how's the government enabling this to happen? I remember going to the border for the first time, and I saw migrants coming over the border. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, shouldn't they be running away?
Wasn't Governor Abbott the one transporting people from the Texas border to New York City?
Yes.
So you feel like there was mismanagement of the border on an executive Biden level and a state level?
Yeah. And I think Governor Abbott, that was his way of saying F you to the to the sanctuary cities, and for the Democrats.
Interesting how mismanagement from Abbott and illegal trafficking of undocumented immigrants, illegal, which he was never punished for, is like a haha epic own to the Biden admin, you know? Oh, no, it's fine when we perpetuate the problem.
Just accepting and letting this happen, saying, okay, well, we're not going to deal with it. You guys go ahead and deal with it. And we'll give him a bus ticket to get out of our state or city.
So you feel like migrants kind of became political pawns for the two parties in America?
Yeah, well, we all know, obviously it was because they wanted to vote. To fill the swing states.
Yeah, man, all of those undocumented immigrant votes.
Fill the big cities, we would have seen what was going to happen, but thankfully Trump won.
How do you think Trump's doing so far this term?
I think Trump's delivering, especially on crises like the border. I think that's been the major win of this election. Right now, you're not seeing illegal migrants come into the country. Me and you both did videos at the Loopfield border. We spoke with migrants. That was the most inhumane thing that I think America's seen in years, as far as letting people be trafficked into the United States and then bringing them into the system, making them rely on the government, not giving them working visas, putting them inside of shelters, busing them all around the country. Families were separated. Thousands of children went missing. The government was literally trafficking children into the United States, trafficking people, incentivizing them to leave their houses in Colombia, leave their house in Ecuador, and then to come to the United States, and you're living in a shelter in New York City.
He's not even referring to a specific conspiracy theory. He's tying a bunch of them together.
So is it true that gangs are inside of the Roosevelt Hotel?
This is me confronting a group of Venezuelan migrants who are potentially dangerous gang members of the gang Tren de Aragua.
Potentially. Here, we've found a group of migrants. Now, they could be sex offenders. We're not sure.
Inside of the Roosevelt Hotel in New York City.
Most of these migrants, they came here, they thought life would be good, and they end up getting put inside the shelter and became essentially slaves to the system in a way, where they're relying on the state to give them money, they're relying on the state for housing, they're relying on the state to give them a work.
I hate this disingenuous bullshit where they're actually, we're enslaving people by giving them the basic necessities to survive. These people are fleeing the collapsing, failed state of Venezuela, trying to come here for a better life, and now their condition is worse. Don't stop pretending that your concern here is motivated by a desire to help them. Well, this fake fucking empathy, I hate it so much. It's so disingenuous. You don't give a shit. You laugh gleefully as ICE brutalizes these people, as they die in prisons, as they're raped without any oversight by Border Patrol officers. You do not give a shit. You were cheering family separation at the border. And at every level, you celebrate cruelty, but you're like, I can't stand it. The intolerable inhumanity of giving them food and housing. Oh.
To be able to work, that's not right. That's pretty mean, if you ask me.
Well, I suppose the reason they hopped the border in the first place because the immigration system is so backed up, right?
Well, yeah, there's major issues with immigration here inside the United States, but you just can't walk into the country and think that you're going to be treated just like a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen.
Mm-hmm. Who was filming most of your stuff?
I think they want to get treated like asylum seekers, though, which is their right under international law.
Back then.
Me, myself, and then I also bring my mom with me. Definitely. She's like a producer on the channel, kind of.
So they're coming right now because it is an opportunity for
fascinating
for them to come, and they are taking that opportunity and they're coming here. And Nick and I wanted to show, because all of America, we just sit at home and watch this on our TV and get angry with it.
It sounds like she's about at the same cognitive level as her son. Did you guys process that sentence? Because that was a doozy. That was crazy.
That opportunity now, because it is an opportunity for them to come, and they are taking that opportunity and they're coming here. And Nick and I wanted to show, because all of America, we just sit at home and watch this on our TV and get angry with it. And we wanted to show like what is truly happening. We have been there.
Did she have any kind of career in content creation prior to you guys working together?
She actually went to school for...
It's a phenomenal reflection, though, of like where this base comes from. Like a significant number of Americans really do just have nothing in their lives. They're dead people walking, and they just sit there and get angry at TV or like fake shit they see on the internet. But if you took away their anger, they would actually die. You've probably seen like Fox News brain rot, like what it does to older people. Like they just stop being. It essentially like creates the conditions, the symptoms that you would see for like early onset Alzheimer's, where they get like angry and confused. This is real. It's not fake. It's real, right? They just watch the TV all the time. They get really, really irate. Their personality shifts. They stop caring about things they used to care about. I think social media is worse than Fox, unfortunately. Well, the thing is that social media is opening this this life path up to younger people as well, you know? There are people that do this. It's like a bunch of right-wing incels do nothing but consume interracial pornography all day and get really, 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 really mad and self-hatey about it. It sounds like a joke. It's a real thing. It's a real thing, and it's not even uncommon. They're obsessed with it.
Journalism and to be a broadcaster.
Did she have a hand in your decision together?
She actually went to school for journalism and to be a broadcaster.
Did she have a hand in your decision to really like start taking things more seriously as far as political coverage?
No, actually, she actually didn't really believe in like anything I thought politically. But as you know, during like 2020, for instance,
what do you two disagree on?
I couldn't, on my channel, I couldn't put Trump's name in a title or a thumbnail without the video being demonetized.
That's not true. I was putting videos out then. That's just not true. Just fake.
Mm-hmm. And so there was no incentive to actually create political content in that time, especially if you're a smaller creator, because you couldn't get the video to be seen by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so you couldn't really make those videos. And then when I did get back from that mission, I could then make videos on politics, and the censorship kind of got lifted because of Elon Musk buying X.
Yeah, the YouTube demonetization got changed by Elon Musk buying Twitter.
People hate on Elon Musk, but they don't understand like what he actually did by buying X. Yeah. Because of him, you're actually able to post stuff on YouTube and not have to worry about being
YouTube? Wait, that's actually... I thought that his soup brain had just like transposed two talking points. Is he actually crediting Elon for the shift in... Oh my fucking god. Jesus Christ, dude. I thought I was just doing it. I assumed that he had just like switched from one talking point to another. Holy shit. I don't know if I can make it much farther in this, man. This is like, I'm going to be real with you guys, okay? This has come at a great psychic penalty. I don't want to play fucking E33. I'm sorry, I don't. I do not want to theory craft French people right now. I don't. This hurts. It really does. It's actually like, I hope you all know, it's not like, I'm not triumphantly laughing over here like, oh, haha, the opposition is so stupid. This actually is like really depressing. What do you, like, there are no solutions to pulling a country out of this kind of death spiral that don't seem, it's a conundrum that invites extensive consideration. I'm sorry. It's fucking crazy, man. It's like, it's, you really have to stop. No, it makes my blood boil. Stuff like this makes my blood boil a lot more than watching like Jesse Waters or Tucker Carlson lie openly, because I know that when the wind shifts, they will fall to the wayside. You know, they'll fall apart. Like, they are purely motivated by financial gain. So is he, by the way. He's absolutely a grifter. You can be a grifter and also catastrophically stupid. Look at Elon, right? Elon is also about on this guy's level intellectually and is also a massive grifter. Posts neo-Nazi propaganda every day on Twitter. But this guy, the fact that this guy was considered an acceptable vehicle for a right-wing propaganda wave means, and they're correct in believing this, the right wing believes that this is enough for their base. Like, you can actually go this low. You don't need, you know, prestigious Columbia University educated propagandists and pundits. You know, you don't need people who were, you know, they were over in the Ivy Leagues and now they're stepping down to curtail their language to the interests of the common man. You can just find like an actual fucking piece of shit, like a pile of dog feces, and he'll like, that's enough for them. And they're right. They're completely correct. This guy seems entirely sincere, though. I just don't think he's capable of thinking another way. You don't know enough stupid people. In reality, stupid people are often also dishonest. They're just bad at being dishonest, like he is. There are lots and lots and lots of stupid, conniving people. It's really common. The idea that stupidity and, like, naivete go hand in hand, not even remotely true. In fact, oftentimes stupid people are more dangerous in their duplicity because they'll be disingenuous even when it doesn't benefit them. At least, like, intelligent, like, we all conservative pundits are to some degree or another knowing liars, right? But the more intelligent ones, you can see right through them because their dishonesty is predictable. This is one of the reasons why Ben Shapiro isn't really that popular on the right anymore. Like, he is intelligent, for sure, he is, you know, he has his moments, but by and large, he's a smart guy. And for that reason, he lies rationally. And the fact that he lies rationally means he's really predictable. And it means that he doesn't stick his neck out on positions he doesn't think he can defend, which makes him, you know, boring. It makes him boring, and it means that he's not, like, following the line on the administration that well. Meanwhile, there are, like, I mean, people like this, right? Is he lying? Is he just stupid? Who knows? Who cares? He probably doesn't know or care either. How are you ever going to figure that out, you know? It's depressing, man. It really is. It's the reason why Trump is better at interviews than J.D. Vance. All right, let's just pull up the fucking clips that I saw.
Who do you think are the three most benevolent billionaires?
What do you mean by the word benevolent?
Just well-intentioned, positive billionaires who you think are creating, you know, net positive societal progress.
Trump? Our president?
Naturally, yeah, obviously. Of course.
Asking how do you gain credibility and trust? Well, you say a fact for a fact.
And the fact is that the first thing I think of when I think of Somalia is
And the fact is, what are Somalians known for? Pirating.
Well, that's in Somalia. There's no pirates in America.
Who's stealing all the money in Minnesota?
The same as a pirate.
That is piracy. So how do you gain more trust? Well, don't be afraid to say a fact when you, or an opinion.
Even if I know that I'm dumb.
Yes. By not saying anything about the death of Charlie Kirk as well, I thought that was pretty messed up. In a way, he's somebody just like me and you who was making videos, putting it on the internet, and then people literally killed him. I thought that was...
I think, okay, people often disingenuously fold Charlie Kirk down to that. Like, he was just a guy making content or whatever. I think this is the first time I've heard it where I actually believe the person saying it. Like, I think that that's what they think. Because I think this guy is completely intellectually vacuous. Like, I don't think this guy is motivated much at all by partisanship. I think that he is racist, but he's incidentally racist. Does that make sense? Like, he doesn't really think about it. He probably thinks everyone is like him. You know, the thief believes everyone else steals. Like, everyone, like Andrew Callahan, Charlie Kirk himself, anyone, everyone is just trying to make their bag in the same game, and they're just taking different sides to appeal to whatever they believe is more financially viable.
Kind of messed up of you to not publicly denounce what happened to Charlie Kirk.
I did.
I never saw anything on Instagram.
What am I supposed to say?
You never shared anything.
I interviewed the guy who was debating him while it happened, and I mentioned a bunch of times that it was horrible, and it represented like one of the worst pivots in American politics ever.
And I didn't even watch the interview because I didn't want to watch that.
Well, you should watch it.
I don't want to.
Why? It's historically relevant.
It is historically relevant. I did lose respect for you when it felt like you went silent.
Well, you should watch the video because I say some stuff in it.
Okay, cool.
Do you ever see a world in which...
That was really good. I have to lie, or I have to laugh, or else I'll cry. I have to move off this, man. We all have to get a lot more ableist now. It's not just him. There are millions of people who watched his content and they're like, wow, what a smart young man. JD Vance said he should get the Pulitzer Prize. Like, they're really committing to this bit. We need to get so much more ableist so quickly. I'm tired of pretending that conservatism isn't a consequence of objectively inferior moral and cognitive, I guess, conditions, you know? Like, it's like, to an extent, everything is a choice in the sense that we have control over the way we direct ourselves, but conservatism is like an ideological outcropping from some blend of dishonesty and mental incompetence. You know, it's not a legitimate position. Entirely illegitimate. I don't respect it. Not even a little bit.